Tina,
and welcome to Perspicacity Party!
This is our very, very first in-person Perspicacity Party. We actually have a live audience and we're so excited.
Yay! So today we are talking about what?
Clarity. But there's two different definitions of clarity. The first is the state or quality of being clear or transparent to the eye. So that's like kind of your typical like sentient version of clarity. And the second one is what we're going to be focusing on today. It's clearness or lucidity as to perception or understanding. Freedom from indistinctness or ambiguity.
Now, the thing about clarity is we're already clear. We were born enlightened. What we're going to talk about actually in relation to clarity is what stops our clarity, what inhibits our clarity, what blocks our clarity.
So the questions that we're going to focus on in this episode, what prevents us from being clear? Lynn already referenced it earlier. And how do we know when we're clear?
So we started with we're born clear. We're born enlightened, all that great stuff. So what inhibits it? So the first thing is I want to talk about intention. The first thing you need to do is be clear about your intention. If you start out ambiguous, you will end up ambiguous. So you want to be an artist, and your mother told you, no, you're going to be a mathematician. So you start down that route because you're just going to make it work, but it doesn't resonate with you. Then you will always be unclear because it's not your personal truth.
Well, you'll always be sort of assigning attributes that don't necessarily innately belong to you.
That's true.
And it's almost like you're an affect of your own self. If your heart and your personal truth is about being an artist, yet you go this mathematician route, when you're walking down this mathematician path, you're going to have nagging questions. You're going to have these mental questions that constantly pop up. They'll really, really, really be challenging, and they'll set you off balance and they'll set you off focus. It's an opportunity really to start to investigate how clear you are and how far away from clarity you are and how far away from your authentic self you are. One of the ways that you can sort of gauge your level of clarity is when the nagging question can be just a transitioning thought, and it's like, oh yeah, it showed up for me. It's it's something that I deal with, but I'm making it, or I'm allowing it to pass through me, or it becomes a trigger, and all of a sudden an old story is triggered, and all of a sudden old behavior is triggered. So that's another indicator for clarity.
And so can you see that would definitely take you from the clarity? It would inhibit clarity because you're doing something that is not in alignment with your personal truth. And everybody can identify when they've done something that did not feel right and then had really bad results. When we have attachments, and what I mean by attachments is like you're attached just to the way something looks or the way something's supposed to feel or whatever it is. They're going to show up by being triggered, like, oh, okay, so that's another opportunity to unattach. That's another opportunity. Like, it's always this practice thing.
And so one more thing we're going to touch on that can prevent clarity is the voices that we all have. The one that says you can't do it, you're not good enough, you are not worthy, you don't deserve it, or things of that nature, and I think we can all identify with those. And so a tool that I came across, which I thought was brilliant, is, okay, so they're saying these things, and they're saying them, and it's clear, and you can feel them on a visceral level. And so if they're coming to you, and there's no accidents,
everything is in perfect order, so those voices must be in perfect order as well. So it's the opportunity to look underneath the voices to see what they're trying to tell you. What is the emotion of it? If you hear, you shouldn't do that, you can't do that. So going further, instead of fighting the voices, because the voices will fight back, what you resist persists, instead of fighting them, we'll go underneath and say, what are you really trying to say? What are you trying to tell me? They're not for you to continue to feel them. They're telling you, hey, wrong way, back over here.
The one thing that is often missing in this clarity and the law of attraction, all this stuff, is that one little caveat, that I received the gift under the best of circumstances for everyone involved, and that way you're clear about how you want this to manifest is probably more important than the clarity of what you want.
Please.
For me, when I'm in a state of clarity, there's a state of peacefulness. There's a state of just that clear knowingness, and so there's nothing in conflict with it. Or if there's something that spurs up, it doesn't show up as conflict,
It's like live in the moment. But a lot of us, we live in the moment, but we still don't know how to enjoy that moment.
Absolutely.
Because still they're living in the moment. They're still thinking about what's going to happen and what happened, things like that. But live in the moment fully.
Frees you to. It's free. It opens up the energy. The energy is right there, ready to be used.
The lens also that supports clarity is community.
You love community.
I love community. Community is so important because, we have 3 eyes too, but imagine 2 people together, that's 6, and then there's 9, and then there's 12, and I'm not really good at multiplication, but you know what I mean.
No, I just had a thought about what Julie said as far as when she was talking about her confidence, there was a power in that statement. She said, it's like if someone comes, she kind of pushes them away, which, when you're talking about community, that can be reversed, where all of a sudden your community is having you doubt that clarity within yourself.
Absolutely.
So it can be supportive or it can be doubtful. And what I'm hearing is that she didn't give her power to the others, and she maintained that, and hopefully community would empower
Support that, yeah.
support the power.
Another thing for me with clarity is that if I can't, I've always judged my feelings.
Oh, yes, that's huge.
Right? So if I'm not allowed to go through them and really express it and let it out, then I'm not going to have the clarity. Because once it all comes out, I feel like I've just got a clear road ahead of me, and I'm like, the confidence thing, pops in, and I'm like, oh no, I got this.
Can I read a quote? A short quote?
Please, yeah.
Okay.
Do, absolutely.
It's Dale Carnegie, and it says, "Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get."
Ooh.
So I love it. So we're gonna close out. And thank you so much for everybody for coming.
Thank you
so excited.
You drove all the way from Malibu.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like
Incredible.
Thank you for coming out and thank you for watching.